What's going on, guys? It's Seth Ford here, and tonight I am back with another college football video, and this time we are back with the way too early prediction videos, and I have for you guys the Notre Dame Fighting Irish versus the Miami Hurricanes, also known as the U. As you guys can see, this game will be played on August the 8th or August the 31st of 2025, basically kind of like a week 0 type of game. In my opinion, the way it looks like that's an early game in August. So it's like the season starts in September. So this game is going to be really important, especially for Notre Dame, because they play Texas A&M right after they play Miami. And Miami, this could be a key game for them as well, because it's the first game of the season. Anything can happen throughout the season, but these key wins would help them tremendously for both teams going into the college football playoffs time when it happens. So we'll see how this goes. I try to find players who are current, who are returning, so bear with me of what I missed or who I missed. Comment down below who you guys think should be in this list of players. But as for now, I just put the current players and also transfers who are playing as the starting or in the starting roles for this year's matchup. So this is going to be an interesting matchup. So I don't know how Notre Dame's going to do this year with Riley Leonard gone, and of course as well with Miami's Cam Ward, who was a beast. He's gone to NFL first overall pick of the draft this upcoming season, for the NFL. So he was electric last year. I really like Cam Ward. I really wish the Panthers could have got him if they didn't stick to Bryce Young, but Bryce Young actually had a solid return for the second season, even though we went 5-12 as a Carolina Panthers fan. So, as further ado, let's go ahead and go through the video. As you guys know, I like to do like a slideshow type of thing because it's kind of boring just looking at the ESPN when you guys can look at the ESPN as well. So let's go ahead to the next page. The last time both teams played was back in 2017 with Malik Rozier as the quarterback. And I forget who the quarterback was for Notre Dame, but boy, I haven't heard that name for years when I looked up the stats and stuff like that too. So obviously, let me do this real quick so you guys can see here. But yeah. All right there. All right, whatever. But yeah, the last time both teams played, Notre Dame lost 41-8, and both teams were actually okay. They're pretty solid, I believe. I think Notre Dame was like 8-2, something like that, and then like Miami had like 9 or 10 wins that year. My mind went blank because I couldn't remember the last record. So I just put down the score and then the last time they played. And of course, Notre Dame in the series leads 18-8. This is like a old school type matchup where Notre Dame, it was really big back then. And of course, Miami as well with the whole 30 for 30 films. It was pretty cool. But these two teams and their brands is like so big in my opinion. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting matchup. Last time they played was Miami won 41-8 back in 2017. And of course, the coaches comparison, I just like to do this just for fun. Mario Cristobal so far has done a good job with Miami, though their defense has been shaky. They did go 10-3 last year, lost in the Pop-Tart Bowl when Cam Ward literally checked out of the game in the second half because just for NFL draft purposes, in my opinion. A lot of people got angry at him for basically being benched the whole second half, and then Miami lost. That's the reason why they lost, because he was out. And so Marcus Freeman, he had a great season, though it was crazy that they beat Texas A&M, and then like the week after they lose to Northern Illinois, and it was just like, holy crap, like what happens? Thankfully, they're in the independent because they're not in a conference, which that kind of helped them a lot, because if they were in a conference and they lost to Northern Illinois on a non-conference game, that would have been a whole crap show throughout the whole season. But anyways, they went 14-2, won all the way through, and they lost to Ohio State, which I wish they would have beaten Ohio State. It would have been an epic game, epic finish for Marcus Freeman. I think that Marcus Freeman has made a stance that he is here to stay with Notre Dame, and he's a solid head coach. He's already 33-10, better season than what Mario Cristobal has done with Miami, because a lot of people thought that Mario Cristobal was going to do the same thing what he did at Oregon, but I think he's still going to be a solid coach with Miami. They need to fix their defense. Like it's just like they just need, like, their defense is awful. Anyways, all right, so location will be at the Miami Dolphins or Miami Hurricane Stadium, which is Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida. So it's going to be an electric game, in my opinion. It's going to be nice weather, so it's going to be interesting to see how it pans out for this upcoming game. All right, so the news, just for like transfer portal news, Cam Ward goes to the NFL draft. Carson Beck from Georgia. This really shocked me the most. I think he also transferred because his girlfriend was there, but then I think later on they both broke up, which is kind of funny in a way. So Carson Beck transferred from Georgia. Xavier Lucas, Xavier Lucas transfers from Wisconsin to Miami. Isaiah Horton transfers from Alabama to Miami. So yeah, it's interesting. Like Miami got some pretty good transfers in the transfer portal. Of course, Notre Dame. Riley Leonard goes to the NFL, which he may not be an NFL on an NFL team, or he may not get drafted. But he is a good quarterback. Malachi Fields transfers from Virginia to Notre Dame. Devontae Smith, not the wide receiver, but the defensive player. It's kind of funny because Alabama, the Heisman wide receiver, Devontae Smith, and now they already had another one, Devontae Smith. So he transfers from Alabama to Notre Dame. And, of course, Jared Dawson is going to be a key player for Marcus Freeman on the line. He transfers also from Louisville. So there you have it with the transfer portal. And there you guys have the news. So I'm going to try to do that more often in these videos. It's just the news for the offseason. And, of course, just trying to make it more interesting in these videos. All right, so the top 3 players for Notre Dame. So as for now, it looks like CJ Carr, who's a freshman, could be the starting quarterback. So now I don't really know who the starting quarterback is going to be, but based off what people are saying from Notre Dame fans or like teams or just fan bases or like the pages say that CJ Carr is going to be the starting guy, but also Steve Angeli could be the starting quarterback too. He's not a bad quarterback. He actually played solid in the championship when Riley Leonard was hurt a little bit. All right, so the running back position, Jeremiah Love is back. He's a beast. He's going to be a solid running back for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. He had a great year last year. Had 163 carries, 1,125 rushing yards, averaged about 6.9 yards per carry, and it has 17 touchdowns. It was a key factor for the playoffs and just in general this year. Jaden Greathouse, this dude is a stud. For somehow reason, he always gets open. He always makes some spectacular catches as well. And if he were to be drafted today, I wish the Panthers would have drafted him because Jaden is a beast on the field with 42 receptions, 592 receiving yards, averaged about 14.1 per catch, and had 4 touchdowns at the end there. All right, so there you have it for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish top 3 offensive players. So let's go ahead and go to Miami's top 3 offensive players. As you guys know, that Carson Beck is now going to be the starting quarterback for this season for the Miami Hurricanes. So that's a huge plus for them, which he went 290 completions to 488 attempts with 64 completion percentage. He had 3,485 passing yards. Really, really good. 7.8 yards per throw, 28 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. Though he was a little shaky last year, especially against Kentucky or like just other games as well. And I mean, he's a solid quarterback, but he's not like a Cam Ward type of player. He's a little bit below Cam Ward status. He's still a good, solid quarterback to have on your team with veteran experience. Jordan Lyle for the running back position, as for now, had 54 carries, 400 rushing yards, averaged about 7.4 per carry, 4 touchdowns overall for him. And of course, Xavier Rapido, I can't remember his name, the guy who's going to the draft, he was a stud, so he's leaving Miami. And so CJ Daniels transfers in as a guy who had 42 receptions from LSU, had 480 receiving yards, averaged about 11.4 per catch, and had 0 touchdowns, though LSU receivers are usually pretty good because they always produce solid receivers no matter where they go, in my opinion. All right, so the top 3 defensive players for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, or Notre Dame, had a defensive lineman, as for now, Donovan Hinish, had 35 total tackles, 19 solo, 4.5 sacks, and 1 pass deflection. And, of course, we have middle linebacker Drake, I believe that's how you pronounce that name. Bowen had 78 total tackles, 40 solo, 1 forced fumble. If I'm correct, I messed up right there. I guess it's 1 forced fumble. Or no, it was 1 interception. 3 forced fumbles and 2 pass deflections. I'll have to go back. I missed it that way, mistyped that. And of course, safety Adam Schuler had 59 total tackles, 36 solo, one forced fumble, one fumble recovery, 3 interceptions, and 1 pass deflection. So he had a solid year last year. So Notre Dame actually has some solid players coming back on their defense and also on their offense. So they're going to be pretty good, in my opinion, next year. All right, so the top 3 defensive players, we have defensive lineman Akeem Mesidor. He had 32 total tackles, 17 solo, 5.5 sacks. So that's really solid for Miami, especially on the defensive line. And of course, we got middle linebacker Wesley Basanti. If I pronounced that last name wrong, I'm sorry. He had 59 total tackles, 36 solo, 2 sacks, 1 interception, and 1 pass deflection. So he was all over the place as well. And of course, the transfer in from Wisconsin, because Miami lost a lot of defensive backs to either graduation or the draft or the transfer portal. So Xavier Lucas from Wisconsin, he had 18 total tackles, 12 solo, 1 sack, and 2 pass deflections. So Miami's defense is, I think, going to be a lot better than what they had last year, in my opinion, because they made a lot of changes in the transfer portal, and of course, just a lot of defensive changes on the field. So maybe they have a chance to beat Notre Dame. Who knows? So let's see how that goes when the game will happen. So the team stats, this is for Notre Dame. They were ranked 101st in the passing yards, which is 198. They were more of a rushing type team. And of course, Ryan Leonard is more of a rushing quarterback. Rushing yards, they had 200.9, which is ranked 19th in the league. And of course, they had average about 37.6 points scored, which is ranked 7th. And of course, points against, they had a solid defense last year, 15.5, which was tied for 4th. And of course, the total offense last year, they had a total of 399.1 yards on offense. And on defense, they only allowed 307.4 yards allowed. And of course, 169.4 yards allowed on defense passing. And they only allowed 138.1 yards rushing allowed on defense as well. So solid year for Marcus Freeman and the Irish squad from last season. Shocked me and definitely shocked a lot of people last year in that season. All right, lastly, we got the team stats for the Miami Hurricanes. They were ranked on offense really solid, 348.2 yards passing wise, ranked 3rd in the league. Rushing yards was not bad either, which is 188.9, which is ranked 31st in the league. They scored a lot of points, and they also left a lot of points on the board on defense, but they scored 44.2, which they're ranked 1st in college football. And of course, points against, which is 25.3, which is ranked 69 in the league, which is not great, especially for Mario Cristobal if they want to go to the college football playoffs. Though they also kind of were robbed in the playoffs because Clemson got in and Miami. Miami only lost 3 games, but they kind of got screwed in the playoff system. So hopefully this year they'll fix all that. But anyways, the total offense for Miami, which was 537.2, which is crazy. Total yards of defense allowed, which is 327.2, which is not great at all. They allowed 225.8 yards passing allowed, which is not too great, not too bad, but also it's just the total yards. Wait, how did they? Anyways, I probably messed that up anyways. They only allowed 100.2 rushing yards allowed, so they were pretty bad of the running game to stop the running game as well. But anyways, there you have it for the stats for offense and defense. And the prediction for the final slide of this video. Who is going to win this game? I think, in my opinion, I think the U is going to win this game. I feel like they have a lot of guys coming back, especially the quarterback position is going to be the key factor for this game because I feel like Carson Beck is a solid veteran quarterback, and with Mario Cristobal and, of course, the defense and having picked up a lot of players, transfer portal, though, don't overlook Notre Dame and Marcus Freeman, because guess what? A lot of people thought that Texas A&M was going to beat Notre Dame last year, and of course Notre Dame upset them last year, and that's what pretty much kicked off their season throughout the whole year, even though they did lose to Northern Illinois. So let me know what you guys think about this. If I missed anything, comment down below. What should I talk about in my next video, or how can I get better at this video? I know I talk really fast, so I'm trying to get through all the video just for you guys can see as well. You can always go pause back and look and always correct me as well. So guys, let me know what you guys think about this video. Comment down below, subscribe. More college football prediction videos are on the way. See you guys next time. Step forward here, and peace.